All right, guys, it's about that time of the year where us fitness influencers unite and we tell you how to survive the holidays. Except I don't feel like I need to survive the holidays anymore. I don't feel this impending anxiety and doom anymore about being around food, about feeling like I'm gonna overeat, about feeling like I'm gonna lose all of my progress. And that's gonna be the point of this video today. Why I'm not afraid of losing progress over the holidays anymore. And we're basically just gonna break it down into a bunch of mindset shifts, starting with mindset shift number 1. Going from having an all or nothing mindset to having an 80-20 mindset, meaning that I used to view foods as good foods that make you skinny and bad foods that make you fat. I used to see skipping one day at the gym as the end of the world. I think I had a fundamental misunderstanding of how much effort I need to put forth to actually see progress long term. And the reality is being either 0 or 100 is where a lot of people go wrong, because nobody can fucking be 100 100% of the time. So when you're not 100, you just assume that you're a failure and you quit. Whereas the 80-20 rule, it's more realistic. It buys you the freedom to enjoy the journey. It's a reframing and recognizing that 20% of the time where we're eating super delicious foods and we're hanging out with family, that's just as much a part of the journey. And if anything, it's an important part of the journey, because you can't have the 80 without the 20, right? Food is not just fuel, which for the most part it is fuel, and we should be fueling our bodies with the right kinds of fuel, right? But food is also culture. It's love, it's family, it's memories, it's nostalgia. It tastes good, it feels good. I feel like depriving ourselves of that type of joy and depriving ourselves of these moments, special moments with loved ones, it's just as disordered, if you will, as overindulging and like being gluttonous and like over consuming fast food and like foods that are bad for us. You know what I mean? So So, because I nourish my body well 80% of the time, I'm eating whole foods, proteins, fruits, vegetables, complex carbs, the 20% that I'm enjoying Thanksgiving dinner or Christmas dinner, it's all a part of the plan. And because I make room for that 20% most of the year, I don't have this scarcity mindset around food that makes me go like, oh my God, I need to eat everything in front of me because I don't know when I'm gonna eat this stuff again. No, I don't restrict myself anymore like I used to. Restriction is not, over-restricting yourself is not the answer to a beautiful, balanced physique and a good relationship to food and a well-established fitness routine. The second mindset shift is going from someone that views movement as punishment to now someone who views movement as fun. Going from someone who views movement as a chore to now being someone who views movement as medicine. Here's the tea. I don't worry that I'm gonna fall off from my training because I love my training. When I was a cardio bunny, on the other hand, there was a lot of this anxiety and impending doom when the holidays would come around, because I would worry that like any interruption to my fitness routine would throw it all out of whack. I found myself telling myself that, okay, if I miss today, I'll just do double tomorrow. And now that I strength train, y'all, I only strength train 4 times a week. So oftentimes I can make my strength training sessions work around my travel, whether it's vacation, it's a wedding, it's a birthday party, it's the holidays. Around the holidays, I kind of find myself just planning ahead and also just making like executive decisions. Sometimes I'll wake up, dude, it's Christmas Eve or Christmas morning. Movement doesn't feel good today. Like I don't feel like showing up for my workout. No worries, I can do it on the 26th or I can do it on the 23rd. I'm like also not afraid to modify what I need to modify about my training to make it fit into whatever circumstance I'm in. Is it a hotel gym? Is it my mom's dumbbells? Like if you're a good bodybuilder and you truly understand how to train hard and you truly understand the fundamentals of training, you can get a bomb-ass workout anywhere. And also, you get to decide what movement feels good for you over the holidays. Maybe you're not as into bodybuilding as I am. Like, I'm always going to get my training in, bitch, the fuck. But maybe you're more into like Pilates or yoga or getting your steps in. These are all great styles of movement that you can work into the holidays. Third mindset shift is going from someone who sees food as something to be feared to now being someone who sees food as fuel. Really, I shifted my mindset from I eat and I exercise to be the smallest version of myself because I'm afraid of being fat and hideous, to now being someone who I eat and fuel and move my body for performance. I have a style of training that makes me feel strong and athletic, and I am an athlete. This mindset shift is crazy. Because I don't know if you like were athletic in high school. I wasn't. But I remember like hearing my friends who were athletes talk about how they have to like fuel for their season, their soccer season, their football season, whatever. I mean, let's be honest, a lot of them were not fueling correctly. But like the ones who did move their bodies, they didn't have to be so afraid of food because food is fuel. They understood that they needed to be well fed to perform. Whereas when your only relationship to food is I'm too fat, it definitely becomes like a very strained relationship. So over the holidays, a lot of people feel like they've just like lost all their progress because they ate a little bit more than usual, but they're failing to realize that, y'all, overeating is normal. Overeating every now and again, I should say, is normal. When you go out to a restaurant and they overserve you a portion, you can't help yourself but to overeat. When you go to Thanksgiving dinner and you're with family and friends and you're eating and drinking and being merry and everyone brings a different dish and you want to try from every dish, it's normal to overeat a little bit. Overeating 1 day or 2 days is not the end of the world. And I remember hearing online bodybuilders being like, dude, it's so awesome to go to the gym after a day of overeating because you've consumed so much extra energy, so much extra fuel, so much extra carbs that you feel so strong on your next leg day, on your next upper body day. And so that's a really fun reframe. Overeating is an opportunity. It's a blessing. It doesn't have to be this terrible thing. It doesn't have to ruin my progress. It can just be a part of the journey. Especially right now, I'm not in a fat loss phase. I'm not prepping for a bodybuilding show. I'm in my growing season, so I'm not worried if I overeat 1 day. That's not going to be the reason why I gain a bunch of weight. And that leads me to the next mindset shift. Did I fuck up, or is this just a part of the plan? It kind of feeds into everything that I've already been saying. Holidays, birthdays, vacations, weddings, this should be baked into a really solid fitness plan. Because think about what the alternative is. You're not allowed to engage in fun food and drink and breaking bread and making fun memories with people because you need to suffer until you reach your physique goal. But let me tell you something. I've been on my fitness grind for 6 years now, lifting consistently and eating well for the past 6 years. And I'm still not at my physique goal because newsflash, the finish line is always going to keep getting pushed back because we just keep raising the bar for ourselves. You reach a goal, great, what's the next goal? You reach that next goal, great, what's the next goal? So at that rate, we're just never going to enjoy life. That doesn't make any fucking sense. The man who enjoys walking is going to walk further than the man who loves the destination. We need to enjoy the journey. Therefore, I'm not afraid of the holidays. If anything, the holidays are a much needed diet break or a mental reset. And all I have to do is get right back on plan to keep making progress. I don't need to try to overcompensate by undereating or over-exercising afterwards. And if anything, like putting pressure on yourself to do that just makes it even harder to get back into your groove. Next mindset shift. Understanding what the scale is telling you. I think a lot of people assume that if the scale goes up, that means that I gained fat. The scale isn't telling us what type of weight you gained. It's just telling you that you gained weight. But that gained weight, it most likely isn't fat. It can be muscle, It can be water. It can be food in your tummy. It can be shit in your gut. It can be gas because you're bloated because you ate stuff that inflamed your gut. 9 times out of 10, if I go on a trip somewhere, for example, I was just in Mexico City this past weekend, I come back expecting that scale to be up because it's gonna be up because I ate outside of my routine. I did stuff outside of my routine. And I got back on Sunday. Sunday, I was like 4 pounds up from my usual. It's Tuesday now, so 2 days later, I'm back down to my regular weight because I didn't just gain 4 pounds of fat and lose 4 pounds of fat in a matter of 2 days. It was most likely just water and poop and food and inflammation again. So don't be juvenile. Don't be so, honestly, don't have such a childish, I'll say it, a childish, immature reaction where you like exacerbates a piece of data that you're not even sure what that data is actually telling you. Maybe if you gain that weight and then that weight doesn't come down again, okay, yeah, maybe you can confirm that you gained fat. But innocent until proven guilty, okay? So temper your expectations of the scale after a weekend of enjoying yourself. Your weight's gonna be up. That's just how it is. Get over it. It's gonna come back down with a couple days of you being back on track. And the last mindset shift, y'all, just because we call it holiday season doesn't mean that we just say fuck you to our goals. The holiday season is 3 months, sure. But Christmas is 1 day, maybe 2 days. Thanksgiving, same thing. Thanksgiving is 1 day, maybe 2 days if you count Friendsgiving, maybe 3 days if you are going to different families. So let's say Thanksgiving is 3 days, Christmas is 3 days. Let's be generous. New Year's is 2 days. And let's be generous, Halloween is 2 days. This is not even 10 days out of the year. And if you're following the 80-20 rule anyways, 10 days out of the year, what percent of the year is that? 10 divided by 365. That's 2% of the year. You see what I mean? Like, I don't subscribe to that mindset anymore, that the holidays are the reason that I'm gonna fuck up. In fact, I've done multiple cutting phases through the holidays, and it works really well because the holidays, like Christmas dinner, Christmas Eve dinner, Thanksgiving dinner, they serve as awesome diet breaks that give my metabolism a little boost, give my mind a mental break. And when I go back into my diet, it helps me lose more weight. And diet breaks are an important part of a fat loss phase. Like, also, my lifestyle is enjoyable enough to the point where I don't feel the need to run from it any chance that I get, any excuse that I get. If anything, enjoying Thanksgiving fully, enjoying Christmas fully, it reminds me how much I love my routine, how much eating my regular foods, how good it makes me feel, how skinty I feel, how strong and ready to train I feel when I'm treating my body well. Fitness isn't a punishment. Fitness is a privilege. The fuck? Now, with all of those mindset shifts being said, it has taken me quite some time to make those mindset shifts, right? And have them be a permanent part of my life. So I'm actually going to film a second video where we're going to discuss practical tips you can use to help you take a more balanced and moderate approach with you into the holidays. But I needed to address the mindset part of it first because, as you already know if you've been following me for a while, I believe that mindset is everything. Heal the mind and the body will follow. So I wanted to teach you those mindset shifts first, then we can get into some practical tools that you can apply in the next video, okay? So I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!